Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for tuning into the Fifth Column Network. This is our Sunday edition, our news magazine program that looks at everything that has happened on social media, the internet, and the world around us so we can break it down and dissect it into a conversation.
Yes.
That we like to have here on the Fifth Column Network. I am the Revolution. With me is Miss Trezene.
Hey, y'all.
You can find us on all things social media. I think you are on social media just as at Trezene, and I am at the Revolution. J. Cole is in the house as well. He'll be joining us later on a couple different topics. So today's topics, Bill Cosby.
Yes, Bill Cosby.
Is one of our opening topics. Then after that, we're going to talk
about the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Michelle Wolf's roast.
Yes.
At that dinner.
Yes. Then Russell Westbrook, for anybody sports fans out there, especially with the NBA, he had an altercation with a fan leaving the court, going through the tunnel, and a fan was belligerent.
Oh no!
And he reacted very blackmailish.
Okay.
And so we will talk about that as well.
Okay.
And then finally, we're going to wrap it up with some Infinity War conversation from a journalistic standpoint where the New Yorker wrote a movie review.
Okay. A legit movie review.
A legit movie review, and fans took exception to the review. And we just wanted to talk about where does the line from an actual review versus real critique versus personal fandom and opinion creates bias. Okay. So we're going to deal with that. So let's open up the conversation on this Sunday. Let's get right into it.
Right.
We're going to talk about, America's dad, especially Black America's dad, Dr. William H. Cosby. Is it senior? What was it at the end of it?
I don't think I don't know. That's just throwing out his honorary degrees they didn't snatch back.
They did. So he was found guilty on 3 counts of aggravated sexual assault.
Yes.
Faces 10 years per count in prison.
Yes. So his sentencing is coming up soon, so we will soon see what he gets. He's currently on house arrest. Yeah. He's an 80-plus-year-old man who's half blind with an ankle bracelet on in his home. He's only allowed to leave the house to go talk to his lawyers or go to the doctor. That's where he is. It was a unanimous verdict for him to be found guilty. There was only 2 black people on that jury. It was mostly male jury. But
where did it take place?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, so he's from Philly, right?
I think he's from Philly.
He's from Philly, right?
Don't quote me on that.
So Meek Mill gets out, Bill goes in.
Yeah, High Court says, hey, Meek, we'll let you out on bail, brother. Yeah.
We let Meek out,
but
only to get Bill.
Bill is in. I don't think
Meek's
that's a fair
out,
trade.
Bill's in. No, I don't think that's.
I don't like that trade at
all. You don't like that exchange rate?
Not at all.
Okay. I don't think that's a fair exchange rate.
No.
Okay. So what's your thoughts about the Bill Cosby? Because I obviously have my thoughts.
So I think my initial thoughts are, this trial is is definitely going to be appealed. I do think that the judge probably went too far in this case. Yeah. For those who don't know, there's been about 60 accusers against Bill. Yeah. And this trial was different than the first one. The biggest difference being that the judge allowed 5 women to come in to testify that he did this to him too. And so there's an evidence rule we have where, you can show prior bad acts, but it can't be prejudicial to the jury. And so I think that allowing 5 other women, other than Andrea, to come in and say he did this to me too, when he wasn't on trial for being a serial rapist.
You said Andrea.
Andrea.
Yeah. She looks like Sigourney Weaver's stunt double from Alien.
Yes! I couldn't figure out what it looked like this.
She looks she looked like Sigourney's stunt double, like, get off her, you bitch! That's
Whew,
that perm, that processes.
Listen, man, haircut and angles matter. Hashtag.
She's a handsome woman, very, very handsome.
Someone who
lady. I love, very distinguished, very swarthy. She is a very handsome young lady.
From someone who also has a long face. Haircuts matter. Hairstyles matter. That is bad. It's worse than Marsha Clark. It's bad. Hairstylists matter. Okay. But yeah, so my thoughts are definitely on appeal. I hope the judge goes, yeah, this went too far. You know, his conviction is overturned or something or whatever, because I do think that it went too far. Another big thing that happened in this case was they were allowed to use the civil settlement that he had with Andrea in 2005, where he paid this woman $3 million.
So we're back
in settlement.
So how do we get back here?
We get back because they needed something to get him for the other stuff that he had done to other women. And she just happened to fall within the statute of limitations, like so close. She was the only one left. And so I feel like the lawyers and people who tried to get him were like, come on, they were encouraging her. They were, I don't want to say coercing, but definitely a lot of pressure. You have to do this for all the other women. You have to do this for them. These women aren't able to get him criminally. They haven't been able to get money from him. You are the only one left who can help these other women get justice. Because for those who don't know, the incident occurred in mid-January 2004. Pennsylvania's statute of limitations for sexual assault is 12 years. So they had to file it by mid-January of 2016 to press charges against him. They filed December 30th, 2015. Like, they had 2 weeks left before that statute ran out.
So 12 years minus 2012.
2004.
2004 is what year?
So 2016 was their deadline.
Yeah, but so the last person that was assaulted by him was 12 years.
Basically. Yeah. So, okay. Right. So, but here's the thing. He had that civil trial that established the facts for you did this to her within the statute of limitations. So they used that in this trial. They didn't use it in the first one. And they used all that testimony he gave, and that tipped over, and that's what made this trial it is what it is. But my thoughts about it is that I feel that the judge did go too far to allow this evidence in. I don't think he would have been convicted without it. And I think it would have been just as it was before the hung jury, plus or minus the Me Too movement. So
wait, the Me Too movement?
Yeah.
When did that start?
So that happened right after Harvey Weinstein.
Who?
Harvey Weinstein.
Who?
That was late 2017.
Okay, ma'am. So what you're telling me is you sip your tea, because I'm gonna sip this here Sharka berry.
Let me, because you know that definitely was a question we had pre-production.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So Bill Cosby has a history of alleged sexual assault. Let me talk about that before I move on to Harvey Weinstein. Women out there, if you feel as though I am crossing the line and you think that I'm practicing some type of male, what's the term?
Male privilege.
Patriarchal, right. I totally understand. At me all day long. Educate me. You know, that's not where I'm coming from. Here's where I am coming from. I looked at a majority of the accusers that I could find, right? I'm not going to have it all on paper.
Right, because we don't have pictures for all of them.
Right. So I looked at the majority of them. There were about 3 to 4 waitresses, right? Or there was 2 definite waitresses. There was a woman that worked at a donut shop, right? Then there were definitely 2 flight attendants. Okay. 2 to 3 flight attendants. There were 2 women. One woman was a manager of a comedy club. Okay. And there was another woman who was a fundraiser for Bill. Okay. She was a basketball coach at Temple. Right. And so everyone else, that's about how many women? Let's just say that's
the ones you just counted.
That I just counted.
Probably 10 to 15.
That's about 10,
maybe 20.
Out of, it's not 20.
Okay, 10 to 15.
Okay, out of
60.
Out of 60. So we're talking about 45.
Yeah.
45.
Approximately 45 remaining.
Remaining women were all aspiring models, actresses, singers, or in the industry. So
entertainment industry.
In the entertainment, 45 women.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Like I said, the 2 women in fundraiser and the woman that was the manager of the comedy club, you go, okay, Bill took advantage of those women, right? He's in their space, they're sharing the same space, and he's pushing up and he's taking advantage of them. Andrew, they're in the same space, and I wonder, you know,
taking advantage of the proximity of which you are with them and building a relationship and working with them. Yeah.
These 45 women, the other 45 women is what I want to talk about. If you're in the entertainment industry and you are a victim of the casting couch, right? You think you're going to get an opportunity. Well, shit, let me play the game. Let me go up here, right? Here's my point. Y'all got Bill. Y'all got him. Okay? That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Where in the blue hell is Harvey Weinstein? Where are all the A-list actresses that started coming forward in the Me Too movement? That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. If Bill did it, here are these women, and they're saying that this happened to him, and we have all this fervor and all this energy to stamping out male predators with power and privilege. Where the fuck is Harvey Weinstein? Let's get those charges a-rolling. Let's get this court proceedings a-rolling. If Bill goes to prison,
then should Harvey.
Harvey needs to get his fat ass behind bars.
Yes, he does.
Let's get your... If Bill is at home with an ankle bracelet and awaiting sentencing, Harvey Weinstein should be next. And let me say this. If he is not, we have problems. We have a problem.
I agree with you 100%.
We have a problem.
Because I realized, like, man, it's been 6 months minimum with regards to Harvey. We've had several awards there in the entertainment industry, and he's just been absent, and he's been laying low. But I haven't.
Ain't nobody been wearing no black dresses because of Bill Cosby.
Nobody.
Ain't nobody. This whole pen. Nobody. Everybody in the fundraiser. All this has been because of Harvey Weinstein than other men in Hollywood. So if Bill is the only person, if he's going to be the martyr for men of Hollywood, you all need to take a look at that.
I agree with that 100%.
Y'all need to take a look at that, because it's just like what happens with police brutality. The only person that does time in matters of police killing unarmed or anybody in society are people of what?
Color.
Okay. So it was a couple Asians. The one Asian officer in New York got time. The rapist out in, where is Holcomb? Where is he at?
I don't know.
He's out Midwest to West. He's out that way somewhere, Iowa or something. I don't know. Ain't my place to remember the rapist cops. All right. I don't know. Fuck you, you rapist cop.
Even the 2 cops who raped that girl in that van in New York, they're both minority, black and Hispanic.
And what happened?
They on trial. They are indicted. They had lost their jobs. They going to jail.
But where are all the white boys at that get?
They don't.
See, but that's my point. It's like you all are real loud and taking down somebody that looks like you.
Yes.
And when it's time to go get the big bad wolf, where's that same energy at? So here's my point. Everyone wants to say this, and y'all can come for me. We're supposed to applaud all the social justice warriors and the women who are working tirelessly to do this, right? I can't speak for white women, but I'm asking black women, where are you at, since you all are the ones that's doing all the work? Let it be told on social media. So you all are our superiors in raising the voice of the voiceless and in the movement and making things happen. Why isn't Harvey Weinstein up on charges? Where is this at? Where's the movement at to get his ass indicted? Where is it at? Where is it at? But y'all,
no answer.
Your peers are slapping high fives for Bill Cosby.
They are. It is bothersome. It's bothersome to watch all the high fives with regards to Bill Cosby. And here's why, black women, and let me just talk directly to y'all. So, you know, it is bothersome, not only because I don't see you guys pulling for the Harveys to come down. I see you pulling for Bill. I see you pulling for R. Kelly, you know, to be taken down, but not Harvey. And I'm wondering, well, is it, you know, why not Harvey as well? Is it because you feel like white women are going to do that job for you so that, you know, he could be taken down? Is it because he didn't have a lot of black victims? You know, I think, or women of color, if you will, which is kind of weird because most of his accusers were not women of color. Not that they didn't exist, but there were several. The majority was still white. You know, we had Lupita come out with Harvey, you know, against Harvey. What was that other woman of color that black women don't like? She's a short, pretty, she's Hispanic. I can't think of her name right now. Selma Hayek. Yeah. Who tried to drag old girl and tell her that racism don't. Right. And then you want to come out talking about, hey, I've been touched too. So, you know, I find it problematic. First of all, I should probably say this. One of my issues with white women alone is that they play both sides of the fence. You know, one moment you guys are for whiteness and for white supremacy when it benefits you, and then when you feel like you're getting the short end of the stick over there, then you want to come over to the lines where black women and other women of color are and want to be marginalized at that moment. LGBTQ. Yes, and LGBTQ as well. Yeah. And so black women, I want you to look at that lens and see how maybe we do that sometimes. Right? We're playing both sides of the fence. So, and sometimes you want to be for black women and we're the most marginalized group and everybody hates on us and shits on us. And then when it benefits you now, you want to be about all women. And so I feel like with the Bill Cosby issue, we want to be for all women and taking him down, but we're not being the same way and being for all men who are doing these things, and you're not coming for Harvey Weinstein at the same time. And so I think it's really important to look when we want to play the field of, you know, we're all women, and then we want to play the field where it's just, you know, black women, we're the marginal. We do that as well. And so I feel like that is showing here in this situation of caping for Bill Cosby and then not caping with the same energy for Harvey Weinstein. But here's the fun. Let's talk about another high-profile black man whom should have been taken down and prosecuted years ago. Robert Kelly. Yes, Robert. And let's just call this what this is. This has been a black issue because the reason why R. Kelly has been able to be predatorial for over 2 decades. Long time. For over 2 decades is because he has preyed upon black women. Right. If R. Kelly had done any of these activities to white teenage girls, he would have been, listen. If he had have married Mandy Moore in 1994, wouldn't have been no ignition. We wouldn't have got into no ignition. Nothing. We wouldn't have got to trapped in the closet. Never. It would have been I'm trapped in this jail cell. Parts 1 through 57. The DVD would have been. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Yes. Yes. So guess what? And this is. I mean, you say whatever you want to. Y'all come for me. I don't care. You all. What did Chris Rock say? He ain't talking about me when he was talking about slap on the booty, slap on the ass, come in the mouth. You know, right? Yes. He ain't talking about me. Right. 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 So it is a reverse Me Too movement. Well, it ain't me movement. You all knew in '94 when he married Aaliyah, and her mama. Right. Her parents approved. They approved of that. That's them. So that ain't really him. Right. Y'all excused him then. Yes. You excused R. Kelly. Then here comes this sex tape in 01. Oh, that could be anybody's head up that girl's ass. Right. And plus he was acquitted, so. How do we know that was him? That could be anybody peeing on a girl in the exact same studio room that was on MTV Cribs, that was filmed a couple months prior. That could be anybody. That could be somebody from R. Kelly's entourage peeing on that girl, telling her to dance faster. Yeah, that was definitely the sentiment, yeah. We let go of that. And,
So it's just funny to me when everybody wants to be warriors for the cause and acquittals. Just like, oh no, we'll pardon him now because he writing some jams. Because he writing some jams.
Yeah, when the last time R. Kelly wrote a jam?
I don't know. That's why it's time for him to go.
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, you ain't producing? Up, time for you to go.
Yeah, I was
time for you to go.
That.
You ain't making no jams? Time for you to go.
Yeah.
So here's my thing, right? Do not get upset for people that stand for Bill Cosby. Like, if they're standing for Bill Cosby, there's a whole lot of you who did not do anything when R. Kelly did offense after offense.
It took until BuzzFeed did that article about the sex cults and actually had witnesses come out and talk. And then now that he's given herpes to some girl and she's corroborated the story from the BuzzFeed, now y'all want to come for R. Kelly and now you want him put under the jail.
Okay, well, I mean, we got a lot of comments here on this.
I see.
We got a lot of comments. Tanisha Pruitt, Angles Matter, talking about so-and-so's head and haircut. Did Cosby and Angela's civil settlement not come with a hush clause?
Okay, so here's what had happened. So that settlement was supposed to be private, right? And so the district attorney at the time made a verbal agreement with Cosby and his team that ish would never come up ever again. They would never use it for, criminal prosecution or anything like that. Problem is that was never put in any real plea agreement or any real written document that could be enforced. So here we go. Fast forward 12 years, you got new mayors, you got new prosecutors, you got new DAs, you got new people. They don't know nothing about that agreement and there's nothing to legally bind them. So they came for him and they used it. So Bill, for that almost 12 years, was going along with the agreement they had made with probably somebody that whomever was in his circle had in their pocket. Handshake, people get in and out of office. And once again, they was like, we don't have nothing to bind us to doing that. And they used it. They came for him.
Wow. Well,
so it really, your lawyer's fault in not getting that in the real writing you need, so that it's not so it's legally enforceable. So they had a hush clause, but it wasn't real.
Okay. Well, oh man, look at that. It's all in the notes. Bill, Dr. Cosby, let me tell you this. Run! Run, nigga, run! Use that money! Get to a private jet! Get out of here! Wakanda got a diplomatic. Run! Run!
Can I listen?
Run!
We were talking about this, because in his not sentencing, but the conviction reading, they were advocating on whether they allow him to get out on bail before sentencing or should he go to jail. And the prosecutors argued that Cosby was a flight risk.
You goddamn right, he's a flight risk.
And he was like, "You don't got a plane, you asshole." He said that in the proceeding. But after I thought about it, I was like, "Hey, if Bill ran, I'll be like, I ain't even mad at you, Bill. I'll be darned if I live out my last days."
I'm not going to listen. I didn't make all this money. Listen. Hey, y'all say what you want. I don't care. Nigga, run, Bill, run. Hashtag run, Bill, run. Non-extradition country. Find it. Get you a plane. Go straight there. I was telling Camille, don't even pack bags, baby. We're gonna fly away, zip, zap, zoom into the sky, and live out the rest of my life on the run. And I said through the judge, I says to the prosecutor, he don't have no plane, you asshole. So
if Bill ran, I'm sorry.
Run, Bill, run. All right, move on. What's the next topic?
So last night was the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah.
The annual event thrown by the White House Correspondents Bureau Association of All Journalists of America, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's a favorite event of all the journalists who cover the White House. As every year, there's always a comedian or someone who's invited in to do a roast of the administration and people in, you know, involved in the White House. And so that happened again last night. Michelle Wolf, a comedian, was invited to do the roast, and Trump people and white folks is mad. We got a clip for y'all if y'all want to see how great it was.
Let's see
Roll
that.
it.
Which clip?
Let's start with Sarah.
Sarah?
Yeah, the Sarah Huckabee.
Oh, she was jiving on Sarah.
We are graced with Sarah's presence tonight. I have to say, I'm a little starstruck. I love you as Aunt Lydia on The Handmaid's Tale. Mike Pence, if you haven't seen it, you would love it. Every time Sarah steps up to the podium, I get excited because I'm not really sure what we're gonna get. You know, a press briefing, a bunch of lies, or divided into softball teams. It's shirts and skins, and this time don't be such a little bitch, Jim Acosta. Like Sarah, I think she's very resourceful. Like, she burns facts and then she uses that ash to create a perfect smoky eye. Like, maybe she's born with it, maybe it's lies. It's probably lies. And I'm never really sure what to call Sarah Huckabee Sanders. You know, is it Sarah Sanders? Is it Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Is it cousin Huckabee? Is it Auntie Huckabee Sanders? Like, what's Uncle Tom but for white women who disappoint other white women? Oh, I know, Aunt Coulter.
Oh boy. Listen, I listened to that. I thought that it was so funny. But not a lot of white people thought it was funny. They felt that they were bullied. She was bullying Sarah Huckabee Sanders, that it was inappropriate. There's some people who actually walked out of the White House Correspondents' Dinner after she gave her roast. She touched on a number of topics, many more than just Sarah. She touched on Kelly, what is her name? Conway. She touched on a lot of people, a lot of things in her 20 minutes of roasting. You know, it's so weird how people react to this thing. I'm like, it's thrown by the White House Correspondents Association, which is all about ensuring the strength of the First Amendment. It is, and not only that, but ensuring the strength of the First Amendment in covering the presidency. And you have someone who's come in and is truly exercising her First Amendment right as a comedian and telling it like it is through a comedic lens, ensuring full, robust coverage of the presidency as we've experienced it in the last year. And I just cannot understand why people just cannot see it for what it is and appreciate the great joke crafting, if you will, that she brought to this. And so definitely want to hear your comments about the roast from a comedic standpoint, for sure. Yeah,
first and foremost, again, like you just said, I thought she crafted some very good jokes. I've seen people up there. Don Imus comes to mind in 1996. He said that Bill Clinton has been banging girls in the back of El Camino since high school, and he's been cheating on Hillary since whenever, and Hillary Clinton should be indicted. He said this to their faces at the same function in 1996. Yikes. And people are saying it's supposed to singe, not burn. Bullshit. There have been people to get up there and go for jugulars. You know, it happens. You have people that do not divorce their beliefs and their political leanings from their craft. I think, very honestly, that Sarah and this administration has no sense of humor. She did not. She did not talk about how unfortunate looking she is.
She did not.
She did not come for the fact that she looks like Uncle Buck in drag. Y'all can pretend like that this woman don't look like Uncle Buck. Y'all can pretend, do we have a clip?
Do we have a picture of Sarah at all? No picture of Sarah.
No clip though. Okay. She looked like Uncle Buck, man. Every time I look at her, I see her making giant pancakes with a shovel. I see her making giant pancakes. You didn't watch Uncle Buck?
No.
Uncle Buck was watching whatchamacallit, McAllister. He was an uncle. So this was the prequel to Home Alone. I always, in my mind, Uncle Buck is the prequel to Home Alone.
Okay, that's funny.
It's in the same universe.
Okay.
So he was watching Home Alone, little white boy, and he was making them giant pancakes. So this is where he got his imagination from to try to kill these two grown men. He was a murderer, man. He was an attempted murderer. But he was an attempted murderer, man. Here's the thing, man. She could have gone so many different directions.
Yes.
And she spoke about the woman that was in the room. She came for her. And she could have said a whole bunch worse.
She could have.
I think the worst thing that she said was a thinly veiled allusion to her burly disposition.
With the softball joke.
With the softball. You know, hey, it's shirts and skins. You know, she used this trucker voice. And, you know, but it was all funny. And, you know, I don't know. Here's something I want to say.
Yeah.
I want to keep it, you know, away from the correspondence, but I want to talk about the conservatives. Because on Twitter, they're going in on her. She's disgusting. I can't believe she did this. But anyone that knows this knows that anyone out here, if you don't know, I will say it again. I have been a conservative for the majority of my life. I think I've said this before. Most black people truthfully are.
Right.
They don't know it or they don't admit it.
Right.
Okay? We believe in religion. We believe in God. We believe in hard work. We believe in the military. How many of us have military families?
Right.
We believe in guns because a lot of you niggas run around with gun permits. Like stop it. Yeah. Stop it. You know what I mean?
Right.
We all believe in conspiracies that the government is trying to do stuff. And conservatives want less government. They want small government for big business. All y'all love y'all Gucci. All y'all love stunting and flexing and buying big cars and all that. That sounds very white to me. That sounds very middle to upper middle class to 1% to me.
Right.
And black people need to get over it. You know, like we've just become slightly accepting with the white society of LGBTQ rights.
That's true.
We have never been on board with the homosexual community.
That's true.
Because of religion.
Yes.
That's conservative.
Yes, that's very true.
You're not liberal. You're not as liberal as you think you are. You're not as liberal as you think you are.
That's true.
You just happen to belong to a disenfranchised class of people. But yet and still, guess what you did? You pulled yourself up with hard work, education. You got careers. You pay your taxes. You move to. Guess what neighborhood y'all moved to? Y'all moved to white neighborhoods to give those taxes with better schools. Y'all sound real conservative to me.
That's real.
That sounds very conservative to me. You all are not creating sustainable communities with eco gardens and urban gardens and doing recycle. You are not. You are not. You guys are not liberal. Stop it. Do not argue me. Do not debate me. You just happen to vote democratically, but you're not a liberal. So I say this to say, I am an open and out conservative. That does not mean that I agree with Donald Trump. Doesn't.
Right.
Does not. Right. I have various Republican views, but then I have some Democratic views. Right. You know, I believe in universal health care. I think everybody should have free health care. I believe in universal education. I think everybody should have access to education. I believe that. Those are two things that I absolutely believe. I believe everyone should have the right to live and exist however they choose to live and exist. You do not get to beat up and kill and leave people alone. I believe in it. I believe that the police should have 100% accountability. I believe that black people, Latino people, I believe that Native Americans and the lands that you put them on should be left alone. You can't go back now and try to drill and get, no. You put them there. This is their land. You got to leave them alone. You got to figure something out. You got to figure something out. So I say all of that to say this, is that they do not have a sense of humor to themselves. And for years, I had to watch them speak badly, rudely, disrespectfully about a very smart, very capable, very beautiful, very attractive black woman named Michelle Obama. I had to watch them say that she looks like an ape, say that she looks like a man. I have seen nothing but these right-wing nut jobs do pictures. I had a screenshot of a picture where someone made of Michelle Obama sitting with her legs crossed and they had a black penis coming out from up.
Oh my God, I've never seen that.
Yeah, and it infuriated me, you know, because why? Why? Because she's tall and she happens to have a great figure, and that she's, you know, but these are the same white men who want Serena Williams, who lust at. I'm not gonna go there. Let me. I die. Okay. You know.
Okay.
You know. But nevertheless, you all made those jokes and those comments for 8 years.
Right. Right.
Nobody held you accountable then.
At all.
And now another white person comes in and makes a couple eyeshadow jokes and a couple jokes questioning your credibility as a leader.
Yes.
And now y'all little white dicks is tied up into little knots around y'all little tiny balls, and you now you want to be mad. Now you want to be mad. And this one was talking about when they go low, we go high, and they said that she has a penis. Like, listen, if I'm Barack Obama, you know me. It's a bunch of y'all watching it. What y'all think I would have done if I'm in office? Listen, this is why I didn't like Barack, because he's a Steve Urkel.
Oh,
he's a Steve Urkel, and I need a Nino.
Okay.
I need somebody like, I'm taking all you motherfuckers down with me. That's the head of CMB. Like, I need somebody who's like, oh, you talking about my old lady? Oh, okay. What state you from? Oh, okay. Watch this. I needed President Petty. You ain't talking about my baby mama, and you think that this shit finna be? Oh, my nigga, it's on. It's on. What district you from? It's on. Ooh. I'm finna turn the lines on. You shoot program. You 24-hour lockdown. Republicans ain't got shit on me. I'd have been Lonzo. My nigga. You made it. You win. You win.
Oh boy.
I'm not playing this game. Y'all want to get mad about some white lady talking about another white lady, but it's all propaganda. They did it on purpose.
Yes.
They knew who she was when they hired her, and they loved it. Oh, she's a bully. But they did that though. You all have to be very mindful of what they're doing. They hired her on purpose. This is part of their distraction. Okay? If you do not get a comedian that's going to come out there and be decisive against you, they put her up there. Sarah Huckabee Sanders was a sacrificial lamb. They knew she was going to make fun of her, and they knew the next day, that day, look at them. They're always attacking us. They're always attacking the administration. And you're like, why? Oh, now we're talking about these jokes. We're talking about her, and that's not even an issue. You manufactured this. You could have, listen, when George H.W. was president, they went out and they got Dana Carvey. He was the headliner. And you know why they got Dana Carvey? Because Dana Carvey did an impression of him. And George H.W. loved it. Read my lips, no new taxes. Like, he loved it. They went out and got somebody favorable that they would enjoy.
Okay. All right.
In a send-up of the old man.
Okay.
Nobody's dumb.
Okay.
You know who to go get.
Okay.
They did this on purpose.
Okay.
Y'all want to fall for the okie doke, man. I got a truck full of cheesy ass popcorn for y'all if y'all fall for the okie doke. Stop falling for it. Look at what's propaganda here. Y'all have all control of who you're bringing into that room. You
absolutely do.
Get out of here.
They brought a brown guy last time.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah? He wasn't nearly as controversial. Funny, not nearly as controversial.
Get out of here.
And if you're going to talk about propaganda, Michelle Wolf has a Netflix special that comes out on May the 27th.
Oh, so it's time to get her name out there. And then, so if you don't think this is all cahoots.
It's all cahoots on both sides.
Oh, man. Okay.
She had all the incentive to bring it.
Yeah.
She
brought it.
She brought it. I'll be watching.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch her special. So is that it for you and I?
I think that's it. We're going to bring J. Cole on.
Let's bring J. Cole on. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. Reset. Yeah, we know what you're going to play. Are you going to play the Russell Westbrook interview? Okay, cool. So let's watch what Russell Westbrook says, and then we're going to come back and talk about it.
All right.
A couple times where you coming out of the into the tunnel, you confronted a fan. What happened in those instances?
Oh, I don't confront fans. Fans confront me. Here in Utah, man, a lot of disrespectful, vulgar things are said to the players here with these fans. Man, it's truly disrespectful. Talk about your families, your kids, And it's just a disrespect to the game, man. I think it's something that needs to be brought up. And I'm tired of just going out and playing and letting fans say what the hell they want to say. I'm not with that, because if I was on the street, they wouldn't just come up to me and say anything crazy, because I don't play that shit. So I just think it's disrespectful when they get the chance to do whatever they want to do. It needs to be put to a stop, especially here in Utah.
Russell, they were.
Hey, everybody, welcome back.
Yeah, look at that transition. You right
the
here. The
magic of broadcasting. I am J-Co at J-Co Is It. Revolution's still with us.
Yeah.
So, as you all saw, we'll get right into it. That was a post-game interview from one Russell Westbrook after they lost to the Utah Jazz in the first round of the NBA playoffs. So, what happened, you're asking? Russell Westbrook was exiting the court after the game. And it was actually two fans.
Yeah.
So one fan, I'm going to illustrate this, goes like this to Russell with his phone. And Russell slaps at the phone.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's in his face.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm coming in your face, Raybo, and I'm your boy.
Yeah.
If I come in your face, what you doing?
I'm slapping your dick.
Exactly. I'm getting slapped. And this is my brother. I've grown up with this man.
Slapping his penis.
This guy don't know Russell Westbrook. You put your phone in there. So he's walking down the little ramp, the exit ramp, and another dude decides to get chippy. He's yelling at him. As a matter of fact, let me show y'all that clip. Can you run that clip? Do you see that?
Let's see. I see Russell Westbrook, 15 seconds.
Yup, that's it.
All right, here we go.
Now, the reason why I chose that one over the other one, that was my favorite one, because as you guys saw, at the end of that clip, that dude was so shook. He just like backed up and sat down. Like, he was not expecting Russ to clap back at all.
No.
So I'm going to go back to Russ's interview. What he said was,
Yeah.
the NBA needs to do something about this.
Yeah.
This is not acceptable that these fans, he said, especially Utah is a very white space.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Saying racially insensitive things, inflammatory things to these people. I'm sure they talk about your family. They talk about whatever they think is going to piss you off. They're allowed to do that. And as an NBA player, because you're the entertainment,
Yeah.
you should be professional, right? Because you get millions of dollars or something, that means that you should be able to handle your shit. And Russ mentioned, he's like, because if we was on the street and you did that, that shit wasn't happening. And he intimated that he would have rightfully whooped his ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But
Absolutely.
you can't do that as an NBA player exiting the building. So instead of protecting its players,
Yeah.
the NBA does nothing about these situations.
Nope.
And this to me even ties into what's happening in the NFL, right? So you have a organization that employs, and the NBA employs way more percentage of black athletes than the NFL. The NFL is what, 60, 70%?
Yeah.
NBA, we were surprised the other day, me and Reggie on True Ball Thursday were like, wow, they have Philadelphia has 4 white guys? Like, that's an anomaly.
Yeah.
It's got to be 90% black.
High 80s.
Yeah, high 80s. You got some Europeans, some guys from Central and South America.
Like 2.
Right. And then 1 or 2 white guys, 4 of them which are apparently on the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah.
So you are not caring about these people. As an organization, you have nothing in place to protect them from, and let's not mince words.
Please don't.
From white people who now, in this environment, obviously don't care for you as a person.
No. Okay, so here's what, so let me see here. Yep, Ticket Courage. There you go, Desmond. Tiffany Shackelford, T-Shack Talks, FCN 2. She says the NBA is having more action than the WWE. Okay, let's talk about that. So we talked about comedy.
Right.
And Tiffany just mentioned WWE.
WWE, yep.
You know what happens with both of those arenas? Stand-up comedy has its hecklers. WWE has its fans, right? Roman Reigns had a beer poured on him when he comes through the crowd entrance. They have to stop that, right?
Yep.
You know what happens? People want to be a part of the show.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It's always some asshole who wants to heckle you when you're up there on stage. I'm going to tell you something. I've done stand-up comedy for years, right? I haven't done it in years because I've been working on actually putting together a show because I want to record it. Want to record a definitive comedy album, and so I've just been working on that.
Absolutely.
I've had people heckle me, and I'm like Russell Westbrook, okay? Let me tell you something. You can say certain things, you can do certain stuff, but you can't say certain things. And I have done more shows and clubs where there are white people in attendance, right?
Right.
And one day I just wasn't feeling it. And I said, sir, did you look at me? Have you really looked at me? I am 225 pounds. I will take this motherfucking microphone, wrap it around your neck, choke the shit out of you until your eyes pop out of your motherfucking socket. Now I said, now, everyone now is sitting here and you all are afraid. Right? So now let me ask you a question. Was that funny? No, it wasn't funny.
No, it wasn't funny.
Right? That's scary.
Right.
Right?
Yo.
Now put yourself in my shoes. When I get up here and I'm looking at all you white people, how do you think I feel? Do you think I feel safe? I don't. And then here you come being offensive to me, calling me names and saying stuff about me. So guess what? Let's make this real for everybody. Okay, you want to have fun, so I'm going to have fun. I'm going to choke the shit out of you with this microphone in front of your old lady. And then guess what? I'm going to fuck your old lady now. I'm going to fuck your old lady now. Now what you going to do? Now you got to go home knowing that this big dick was in your old lady.
Oh my God.
And guess what? People are like,
Of course they were.
I said, it's not fun now, is it, huh? And they like, I was like, I still got time with this microphone.
Right.
So you're looking at Russell Westbrook when you're in a profession, your profession. Nobody wants to go to. How many people are at their jobs when they get cussed out at their jobs?
Yeah.
And they're like, wait a minute, this is not what I signed up for.
Absolutely. I used to work.
I'm not getting paid for that.
I used to work phone support, and if someone cussed at me, and they always had their rules about what you had to do, what your script was if you're getting cussed at. But I never. Fuck those rules. My rule was if you cuss at me once, I give you one warning. And then after that, I'm hanging up on you. That's it. Okay, goodbye. And I'm hanging up on you. Because there's no reason that I have to deal with that.
Right.
At no reason in the world, no matter what is happening to you, that I have to deal with you verbally accosting me.
Yeah. And it's in the NBA, this is the NBA's big thing, is you get to be part of the action. I remember that.
Yes.
Maybe in the 90s, early 2000s, when they were like, you be part of the action. Nobody gets to be courtside like this.
Right.
They are court. You got people behind your head talking. LeBron then had to come for people talking about his mother. Talking about his mother. Like, fans go too far.
There are seats in some stadiums that are equal to or closer to the court than the actual players sit.
Yes. Yes.
So.
And you're paying a premium. And those people paying a premium think they can do whatever they want to do.
Yep.
And you can't. You know,
but they can.
But the NBA allows them.
Absolutely.
They allow them to do that. And, this is what I've said, right? When are we going to get to a place to just be like, all right, fuck it. Let's just all walk off our jobs. Because it's like, it's clear we can't have any actual peace and respect wherever we are. Like, where can we start another league at? Because this is ridiculous.
Listen, and I was thinking of that. I'm like, okay, so when is the time that people stop laughing at folks for talking about starting up leagues and actually pool their money together and start a league with the rules in place, with the safeguards in place that will actually benefit the people who are in that league?
Yeah. Let me tell you something. If there were a couple black dudes in MLB or NHL, and they were doing the same thing to a white hockey player or a white baseball player, you getting your. We've seen people at baseball games get dragged out for less.
Yes.
You like, damn, they on top of
play.
They do not.
You don't have to be by the field. You be up several rows up and fucking with another fan,
and you getting your ass out of there.
You gone.
Let alone a player. Yes. You should be protecting. He is an MVP. He is a money maker.
He's one of your marketed people. Like, he's one of the guys that you are marketing, that you are bringing people, whether they love him or hate him, to watch and bring money to your league.
Well,
so, you know, the NBA, man, NBA needs to be taken to task for this.
Yes, they should.
And I hope that people like Russ and others, like, really, I mean, and I hate to put everything on LeBron because he's already playing 80 minutes a game and he's already, you know, capable for social issues. But man, can he get some help?
I think they've talked about this. This is something else, and I wonder when the next CBA is that this will be brought up. But this needs to be, you know, talked about. Yeah. And but if you've been to games, you've covered a lot of NBA basketball. As a reporter. How many people?
It's a beat reporter.
Yeah, it's a beat reporter. I didn't say it this time. You said it. How many times have you seen security and the people in the jackets that are in earshot? You heard it. You know. Hey, come on, get him out of here. Get on your walkie. Get on whatever. Hey, get him out of here. But they don't.
No, they don't. You know why?
Not. Let me hear why.
You know why? Because these people, number one, are paid minimum wage.
Yeah.
Number two, they're not actual security. They're just normal people in a jacket.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you have all kinds of people. You have older people. You have, you know, young, like, I just want a job and be close to the action. You know, female security workers that are not trained in anything. They're just supposed to be there to discourage folks.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything.
Yeah.
They don't do anything. And if something happened, the actual police presence that's at the game would be the ones to come out of wherever they stay.
You know.
So.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
I'm just shocked that Charles Oakley got his ass dragged out of Madison Square Garden. Charles Oakley.
Yes, he did.
Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Is he a Hall of Famer? No.
If not, he will be.
I hope he is. Charles Oakley got dragged out.
Yep.
But these guys get to stand.
Yeah.
That should tell you something.
That should absolutely tell you something.
And he's a millionaire, former athlete, former player in the NBA, former Knick, coming home
Madison Square Garden.
In Madison Square Garden and got taken out of.
And yeah, what it should tell you is that the NBA, the owners, don't care about the players.
No.
They do not care. It's just simple as that. So they are not going to, you know, put all of their resources, because that's money, into protecting them.
Yeah. Well,
you're a big black guy. You can handle it.
You're tough. You're from the inner city.
Exactly. Right. You're from the inner city.
You're from LA.
You lift weights every day. But don't touch him. Don't touch him. Now, that's the thing. And the guy that reached out, if they had touched Russ and he whipped that dude's ass, Russ would be the one.
He'd be in trouble
with charges brought up on him.
If he touched me, I'm like, assault. Get him.
I'd have flopped like I'm taking an offensive foul.
Assault.
And assault. Yep. Y'all saw cameras everywhere.
Assault. This is, do not touch my person. This is assault.
So
I mean, we gotta learn how to play in the rules of the law and waste everybody's time.
Right.
You have to call off for work.
Right.
I got millions.
I am right now. Right. I am right now on leave.
I would have a neck brace.
It's mentally, if Kevin Love gets to be anxious and depressed because of whatever happened in his life and gets to be off for 20-some games, why can't Russell Westbrook take a leave of absence and press charges against these people for assault?
Oh, we can't do that now. You know, Massa don't like that. Massa don't like us when we talk against him now. So
Indeed.
I don't know how to segue out of that.
And speaking of Massa,
okay,
Thanos. No, was that was a horrible transition.
Hey, we got to do it. We got to do it.
All right, so Infinity Wars came out this past Thursday, you know, the preview, Friday technically to open. It's made goo gobs of money.
So far, it has been estimated that they are at $250 million.
Which is
broke the record for The Force Awakens, which was #1 for opening weekends. 3-day opening weekend at $247 million. This is estimated at $250. The Thursday is #4 all time.
Right. Interestingly enough, the Friday it was 105, right?
Yes.
Which wasn't in first place, because they count the Thursday preview with Friday. But the Friday standalone was 66, which is the highest. Yeah. Because Force Awakens and those made 40-something on Thursday. Yeah. So the Friday number is the biggest Friday number. Yeah. If you take it
would have made 54.
True Friday numbers.
Yeah, the Force Awakens made 54 million on Thursday.
On Thursday. Oh, that's right. And then another, what was it? Something else made 47. Yeah. So anyway. So it's
Harry Potter.
Oh, that's right.
Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Part 2, last one. So it's big. Yeah. People are going to watch it. It's the most popular thing. People are shocked. People are stunned by what happened in the movie, by the ending of the movie. We're not doing a spoiler-free review, okay? We're not spoiling anything. But that's not what me and Ravo are here to talk about today. We're actually here to talk about, as you previewed in the beginning of Sunday Edition, about fandom and about the fine line between comic book movies and making a movie. Right. Okay? So we had a gentleman, I forgot to write his name down, but oh well. He wrote an article for The New Yorker. Now, I'm going to read several segments, and we're going to talk about the segments.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
I am going to preface this with, this is some of the most pretentious fucking writing that I have ever read. But it's The New Yorker.
It's The New Yorker. You know, my cousin Vincent, always, so he told me something, I was much too old, I wish he told me in my youth, that changed my life. He said, little cousin, I want you to always remember one thing and one thing only to do. I was like, what's that? Consider the source.
Absolutely.
And I was like, changed my life.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about The New Yorker.
The New Yorker.
Its logo is some upper crust snooty.
Snotty.
Snooty.
with a cigarette on the little cigarette stick.
Top hat. Monocle.
And a monocle.
Is the
the nose is turned up in the photos. Like, yes. And the paintings. This is art.
It's very artistic. So this ain't Essence. This ain't Wizard. This isn't this is The New Yorker. Continue.
There we go. So he starts out talking about the movie. It says it's serving mainly to illustrate the movie's main idea, to give each one of its dozens of characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe a few moments to shine. Okay? Do you take exception to that as a fan? Because if you do, I call bullshit. Every single time a new character came on screen in our viewing, and when I talk to people around the country, viewings typically go similarly, if not the same. What happened? Every time a new character came on screen, what happened?
Go ahead.
Woo! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Every time, especially the guy that was sitting next to me, I wanted to smack the shit out of him.
Each and every time they cheered and applauded, like, okay, they're here. Shut up.
You just saw them. They were just in a movie last year, because Marvel comes out with 15 movies a year. So, please. All right, so I want to address this part. And again, we have to read through the pretension. It comes off not even as a single drama, as a self-contained and internally structured narrative, but rather as a big screen 2.5-hour variant on a single episode in a television series. Yes, Avengers Infinity War would make little sense in the absence of its pack of predecessors. Its characters aren't introduced, they just show up and then get cheered. That's my part, I said that. And their behavior is entirely defined by the template set for them in other movies. True. Not only does Avengers Infinity War presume that viewers have seen all the preceding films in the Marvel series, but worse, it presumes that they've thought about them afterward. That was a cheap shot.
Yeah.
That line was a cheap shot. I was like, okay, fuck you, dude. So, yes, what he said in there was vastly true, but
I found 3 truths and a false.
Right.
Okay.
So, but he vastly missed the basis of everything. The presumption is that this movie is made for fans who follow the series. Is that true or false?
That's true.
So it has enough action, it has enough drama, it has enough, little tidbits that the people that haven't been can still come in and enjoy it as an action comic book movie, right?
Are you asking me about Infinity War?
Yeah, Infinity War.
No.
You don't think that a casual viewer can come in and enjoy the action, the fighting?
Can they come and enjoy it? Yes. Can they come and enjoy the action and the fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just, hey, look here, mama. It is a CGI blue purple skinned man. That's fun.
And are you saying that's not the average viewer? All right, so moving on. Where, and this is where I really want to hit the discussion. We'll read some more from the article, but so comic book movies, and I observed this because I was into comic books as a child and growing up, but I never dove into them. I have knowledge of them. Most of my knowledge comes from discussions with you, from things that you've read that we talked about, or I've oh, pick this up and read it, right? Yeah. So I'm not heavily into canon. Yeah. Right? But I still enjoy comic books. Sure. I am a movie buff. Sure. I've wanted to be in movies. I wanted to produce and write movies, right?
I don't know about that, but continue.
You don't have to. I'm telling the people this is the truth.
Well, but I'm also trying to give them backstory because you're just dropping in these plot devices from a template that was established.
They just showed up.
Yeah, this kind of information just showed up.
It just showed up?
Yeah.
So I've never had a discussion with you about being in a movie?
We're talking about the fans, though. So I'm giving exposition to how this may or may not be true.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So, where is this line that should we draw between comic book and movie?
Is this the question?
This is my question.
Yeah.
Should they be self-contained and fan service within intertwined storyline? Is that what we expect, what we should expect out of this? Or should we expect a movie to be a good movie? Or should we expect it to just be the fan service?
Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you. I've made jokes, but you and I love cinema. We've dived deep into cinema. We have backgrounds, we have education in it, we have worked in the industry. So I will say this, I've always wanted a film first. You do not have to service me. If you are inspired by this world and this character, I'm all for it. That is the reason why, and I'm going to preface it with this, that is the reason why Chris Nolan trilogy, The Dark Knight in particular, being one of the best comic book movies ever made, because there are points in that where you forget you're watching a Batman movie. Right. You know what I mean? Like I was watching the film and I see the dude in the costume and I'm like, okay. But I'm like, am I watching Heat? What am I watching here? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and the Joker and the whole nine, it's on another level.
Yes.
I think Marvel doesn't hide what it is, that we're a comic movie and this is what we're doing. And the one thing that this article said to me touches on that. It's very episodic. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is very episodic. And you know that the stakes, so say for instance someone like me who is a discerning adult,
right?
And I could suspend disbelief all day long. Right? But the narrative of the film should be contained in a way that as a film viewer, I'm like, oh, at the edge of my seat, going, oh my God, what's gonna happen? You know, like when you're watching, films like Vertigo, films like, what's the one with Tom Hanks on the island?
Castaway.
Castaway, right? You're watching Castaway, you're like, is he gonna live? Is he gonna die here? How's he gonna, you just didn't know what was gonna happen.
Right.
And I feel sometimes watching these films, I don't get that. I'm just waiting for the end to see what the next end credit scene is to get to the next film. To get to the next film. And they have become big budgeted 2-hour television episodes.
Yes.
And I don't care what fans say, that's a true statement.
That is a true statement.
It's a true statement. And it's funny because a lot of people that are fans of DC and the DC extended universe have said, oh, we kind of want to go back to the way DC was, which was standalone films. And I wouldn't be mad at that because they've made really good standalone films. And, throughout all of our existence of watching these films, we understand what narrative is, especially when it comes to the sequel, right?
Yep.
This is where I kind of go, I say foul to the point that he made in the article, right? The Godfather 2 is seen as probably one of the greatest films ever made.
Yes.
It's a sequel.
It is, yep.
If you didn't see the first one, that might not be true because you can watch Godfather 2 and catch everything because it actually tells Vito's backstory.
Okay, but right. So that proves that point, even though I know where you were going with it. But let me tell you this. I'm going to ask you this.
Yes.
Which movie did you have to see in order to understand what was happening in Black Panther?
None.
That was a standalone movie that referenced the other movies, but still was able to stick in enough exposition and explanation so that you knew what was happening. You knew that T'Challa's dad had been murdered from the bomb, right? They didn't dwell on it, but you understood that part of the story.
Yes.
And here's the other thing. I'm gonna jump ahead because you brought it up.
Okay.
But that ending is also, let me make sure that's the right one. Yes. But that ending is also a narrative cheap shot because it doesn't feel like an ending. It feels like the turning point of a movie that is about to enter its heroic final act, which in this case will instead be the sequel. Okay? The ground rules governing the film's superheroics are undefined and limitlessly malleable. Infinite powers means infinite dramatic possibilities and none of the limitations by which real lives and choices are constructed and compelled. That's why, for all the colossal CGI kinetics and pyrotechnics of the movie's massive battles and thudding fights, the stakes seem so low. Even the surprise deaths of beloved characters, for all the momentary power to disturb, feel cheap because the powers of superheroism, amped by the reversibility of time, thanks to the time stone, make no result seem conclusive, no death seem final.
Absolutely.
That was a 100% true, pretentiously written, but true paragraph.
It was very true. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm going, listen, I'm an adult. I said, listen, T'Challa just had his first film. Doctor Strange had his first film. Spider-Man had his first film. Ladies and gentlemen, they will be back.
They will be back.
Like, stop it.
Exactly. So where are the stakes?
I didn't feel that there was stakes.
Exactly.
I did not. And I felt that reading this article, you just want to defend what you love. And every single time you paint yourself into a corner because of your fandom, because you already come in with this confirmation bias.
Yes.
You know, like, oh, no, that's not. And it's like, no, it is true. Like, it is true.
Absolutely. And there's some things that he got wrong in this.
Yeah, there are a couple things that he got wrong.
Yeah, and I mean, it's okay. My point with this discussion mostly, number one, is to say that it is okay for you to criticize the things that you're a fan of. You say this all the time. Abandon your fandom.
Please.
Because guess what you can do? You can demand a better product and then get a better product.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of just accepting everything they throw at us.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Black Panther was so successful because, number one, the African American community was so hype that they rallied around watching that movie.
Yeah.
Okay. But it was such a great movie that non-comic book fans went and enjoyed it, and people watched that thing 2-3 times.
Listen,
and it's still making money.
It is number 5. It is number 5 this weekend after 11 weeks, making $4 million.
Absolutely.
11 weeks, it made $4 million. It is now at $684 million domestic because of that reason. When we went in, you, myself, the Reggie Mathis went to the film. We stopped people that were going out, right?
Yes, we did.
Do you remember
going to see Infinity War?
And going to see Infinity War. I remember that one white guy said it was good, but I like Black Panther more.
He said Black Panther was still better.
He said Black Panther is still better, and he wanted that to be his truth.
Yeah.
And so I think that Rafael Martinez has said to me in private conversations, so I can out him. He said that, my critique about the film, that what I had wanted to see and Thanos and other films, he said this was Thanos' movie, and I disagree with that. This wasn't Thanos' movie. If it was Thanos' movie, then why the hell are all the Avengers in it? Why are all the Avengers in it? Yeah. And I felt like it could have been 2 acts, it could have been 2 halves of this film, and I felt like exactly what I said in my review to the trailer. I said Thanos will suck because they reduced him to the damn Infinity Gauntlet. Right. And that was true.
Yep.
And let me say this really quickly. I just have this one spoiler that I want to say, right? In the books, Thanos walked around with his hands behind his back. He didn't care. He could do anything with the snap of his fingers, and you know what I mean? This guy was doing heavy labor still. He was listen. Captain America was holding him off with he had 5 of 6 stones. That was impossible.
Cap couldn't do that if Thanos was just Thanos.
If he was just Thanos, like all of that stuff. If you wanted to see him with them hands and busting people's ass, we should have seen that in another film to go, God, this is what Thanos could do without the stones. I wanted to see him put his hands on the Hulk
with no gauntlet.
With no gauntlet at the end of Ragnarok. Like that whole scene, 2 of those scenes in this film should have happened in other films.
Yes.
Young Gamora should have happened in Guardians of the Galaxy. And putting hands on Hulk should have happened at Ragnarok, because we just seen him be this gladiator, and he run into him, and he's like, "Oh, interesting," and he just boom, boom, boom. Like, no, let him have his fun. No gauntlet, and he put in work.
Right.
He worked Hulk's ass with no stone, and then you like, oh shit. So what happens when he gets
the power?
When he gets power, then we move on into these films, and then we could have been like in awe of Thanos and how he had a total vision, because he's been showing it throughout these other films that he believes in this balance. And I think that critiques are critiques, man. And we just get mad when people have critiques.
Yeah.
You have someone saying something?
Yeah, I want to see what. So Philip Melton the second says the MCU is intended to build upon itself, but there should still be an attempt to make a good movie, not necessarily a standalone movie. I understand what you're saying there, Philip, and you're right. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a standalone, because they went into this saying we're not going to make simply standalones. We're going to make a cohesive universe.
Yes.
And that was their choice, and that's fine. But you still can make a good movie with that.
And you can make a self-contained film in a interwoven, connected universe.
Right.
You can. You know, Black Panther proved that. What's another film that really proved how you can do in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I want to say Doctor Strange did, because it moved away from it and didn't have all that. And you go, look, this is in this world, where it's just self-contained. You know,
Civil War.
I get it. I get what you're saying, but it's everybody's kind of involved.
It was because it was so.
Yeah. But nevertheless, critiques should be critiques. And get your feelings out of it because somebody critiqued your fandom.
Yeah, absolutely. I think fans have been and will rage against this article and articles like this, and talk about how he has no clue because he probably hasn't watched any of the other movies, or if
I think that he has.
If he has, he's not a comic book fan. Maybe whatever they'll say, and to a point, it's true. It is, but I think we need to ask the question: what is it that we're really looking for when our fandom makes it to the big screen? Okay, what are we looking for? Are we just satisfied with just seeing our people up there? Because a lot of people, when they react to these Marvel movies, are just happy that they're seeing.
Yes.
But that's not true, because if it was, DC would be doing better. Because they're just putting people up on the screen. They're making horrible movies, right?
Okay.
But I know several DC fans. You as one of them.
Yes.
I've been talking in depth with my girl Terry about her comic books about Infinity War, and she is in love with DC. She's like, I'm a DC person.
Yeah.
But you guys hate Warner. You guys hate Zack Snyder.
Hate him.
Because they ruined your people.
They've ruined.
So making a good movie is important.
Yes.
Having and it seems to me like Marvel has just done it better. So by default, people are gravitating towards them and giving them the benefit of the doubt instead of holding them to a higher standard.
Well, yeah, and I think that here's the problem, though, right? We're really holding them to their standard. They've set the bar. They've set the bar.
Absolutely.
I think, like I said before, Chris Nolan is kind of like Pac and Biggie, right? You really cannot compare Tupac versus Biggie. They're two completely different artists.
Oh, yes.
Two completely. Biggie is a capitalist. Pac is a activist. Just there. Off top. He's an activist. He's a capitalist. Right?
Yep.
The person that's in the line of discussion for Biggie would be Jay-Z. They're both capitalists.
Yes.
They're both lyrical. That's who you can compare them to.
Right.
Equally.
Yeah.
The next
Biggie,
person.
Jay-Z.
Yes. The next person that you could probably talk to about that, and especially, and dig this now, with the complexity of his rap persona would be Nas. He's an activist.
Okay. Yep.
And he has conflicting interests, just like Tupac does, right?
Okay.
So 1 minute you're Nasty Nas, then you're Esco,
Right.
then you know what I mean?
Nostradamus.
So, Nostradamus, like you're just like Pac. Pac was very conflicted, but because he's multi-layered, he's multi-dimensional, and I think that when you look at these comic book films, it's hard to go, yeah, but compared to what? What are you comparing it to?
Right.
There are some films like The Crow, to me, that are still up here. Road to Perdition is still up here. But these films, for the most part, have been standalone films because they've never carried a theme through several films. It's just, okay, let's make the next one. Let's make the next one. You know, Nolan is about the only one, well, in the Tim Burton Batman films, he had a narrative in his sequels. And truthfully, a lot of people don't know this, but those other films are supposed to be in the exact same canon. They're supposed to be in that. Can you go, how?
How, right?
How? These are not the same movies, but they are.
Right.
I don't know. It's just hard to compare Marvel to anyone else. Marvel's its own thing, and Marvel's made the most money. And so I know one thing about people, whenever you start talking about comparison, after the first two iterations of the conversation, it immediately goes, well, so-and-so made more money. Well, they paid, though. And then that's all that matters, because for most discussions, it's all about finances. If it has made this money, then it must be better. The masses are paying for it, so it must be better. And I love the Fast and the Furious franchise, but let me tell you something. Those are not well written. These are all action schlock.
Yes, schlock, absolutely.
You're going to see stuff blow up. You're going to see a car.
Crazy stunts.
Crazy stunts, and all the mixed What? I'm just talking about the people.
Just read comments.
You just don't know who they are. Like, what is their nationality? They're just trying to appeal to everybody. So great analogy, Pac and Big. Thank you, Philip. I like that, man. So yeah, that's about all I have to say about this. You got anything else?
No, I think I have expressed myself. I did enjoy the movie. I did enjoy the Infinity War movie, but it was definitely not close to being as good as Black Panther.
No, it's Pac and Big. It's Pac and Big. It's Pac and Big. It's literally.
It's Big and Ja Rule.
Okay, I want to read Larry Banks. What up, Larry?
Larry?
Larry has a great comment. Thanos is like the dad your mom warns you about when you mess up, and he comes home and whoops your ass. Like, that's funny. I like that. So yeah, let me say this. Thank you all for joining us this week for the Sunday edition. Make sure that you like us on here, Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow our various accounts over all the platforms such as Twitter and Instagram. You can find us at FCN_Prime, and then 1 through 5 everywhere else. Thank you so much for taking part with us in the discussion and all your comments. We love you all. Thank you so much, and we'll see you later on tonight. We're gonna have a man cave.
Yeah, we got a man cave version of Speak On It.
Bros only.
So Nikila's not gonna be able to make it.
Good. Good. Get that lady out of here. It's gonna be.
So yeah, I'll be on with Mr. Stacey Majors.
Please.
Yeah, we talk about what's inside this right here in the guy's head. What's happening?
Oh, most of it's happening down here. What's happening?
Well,
most of it.
We'll talk about that on the show.
All right, then. See y'all later. Thank you for joining the Sunday edition. I'm the Revolution.
J. Cole.
All right. Good night.